What is up, Spuds? Happy Friday. This is Jesse Whitedeer of the Needless Potatoes podcast. My guest today is Mr. John Bomboy. John is the creator and host of Pedals and Chill, which is available on Instagram and Facebook. John was also the booker at Vintage 22 and has helped book AdaFest as well. John has worked as a solo artist, and he has worked with his band John Bomboy and the Underscores. John and I sit down and we talk about his music, his bookings, Pedals and Chill, how that began, and just run-of-the-mill stuff. And we talk about the comings and goings of our friendship. And I really hope you guys enjoy this episode. I really loved recording it. And so you guys enjoy. Thank you again for listening. Hello, everybody. I'm here with the John Bomboy of Ada, Oklahoma. John, how you doing?
Better than I deserve.
Well, that's good. That's a dad answer. So maybe
I've been practicing it.
Yeah. So, Jonathan, I noticed that you got a lot of these old guitars on the wall, and you're a fairly young guy, fairly young, strapping lad. And knowing you for the last few years, I've noticed that you definitely have a fascination and a love for like old-timey blues and jazz and such. Why that genre of music as opposed to like pop punk or anything else?
I don't know, really. I guess it's, I don't know. If I had to take it down to something, maybe it feels more down to earth, more kind of like at the roots of things that we listen to today and everything, just more open, I guess, in a sense. Okay. I don't know if that makes any sense.
No, I got you. What were like some of the first artists that you listened to?
Oh gosh, actually it was people like Jerry Lee Lewis, James Brown, Little Richard, Fats Domino. I remember my grandparents actually had this old VHS tape from Disney, and it was like a compilation of music videos, but it was like set up to those old school rockabilly artists and people like that and everything. And I would always like, I don't know, just dance around or something to that when I was little and everything. And so I think that kind of instilled that style in me at that age.
Awesome, great. And and I know that you're an accomplished guitarist. How long have you been playing? As much as one man could be.
Yeah.
How long have you been playing guitar? Was it about that same length?
No, I didn't learn guitar till years. I mean, my grandparents showed me those VHS tapes probably when I was like 6 or so. Okay, and yeah. I didn't start playing the guitar until I was
So you weren't playing Muddy Waters in elementary school or anything, right?
No, I wasn't. I wasn't like that Walk the Line guy. Or what? Not Walk the Line. What was it?
I think that is
Walk Hard.
Walk Hard. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
No, I think I picked up the guitar at about 16, and so I guess I've been playing for about 15 years now. Oh, one more year and it'll be half my life.
Well, that's hopefully more than that.
Yeah.
But awesome, great. And then you were in John Bomboy and the Underscores, correct?
Mm-hmm.
But now you were doing some solo stuff.
Yeah.
And then kind of simultaneously you were doing music and you were also booking, correct?
Yep.
Yep. And you've helped with like AdaFest and you've done your own thing with Vintage 22.
Mm-hmm.
Can you kind of talk a little bit about as far as booking, maybe the do's and don'ts, and a little bit of like advice for people out there?
The don'ts. Don't stress. I know that's probably like easier said. Well, it's definitely easier said than done. But everything usually has a way of working out, Even the shows that you don't think aren't that good, they usually end up being pretty good and everything. It's about the vibe and the energy, especially of the bands that play and stuff. You want to book artists that are pretty easygoing and laid back. That really helps, 'cause every night can't be a winner, So if you're working with a band that is seasoned and they understand that, it takes off the pressure of everybody, and if you're not trying to make every show the best show that you've ever booked, like, it really takes the pressure off on you in that aspect. So I would say that would be a don't. A do. Um, I don't know. Do promote. Like, just
Tell people that a band is playing on Friday.
yeah. Send out your text messages to the people in your contacts. Spam people like crazy.
You almost
It's a
have to
big
like
part.
harass people.
Oh, you totally have to harass
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
You're basically like a virtual door-to-door salesman in a sense. Like, you really gotta tell people, like, hey, you're not gonna want to miss this and everything.
Yeah,
And
knock, knock. You remember me from 2 days ago?
yeah.
Yeah, right. Awesome. And you got any memories from like booking shows? Like, did you ever put a show together that you thought like, man, like it's where it's at?
Oh gosh.
Or like maybe favorite artist to work with would be another question.
Oh, that's a tough one. I feel like I've worked with. I really enjoyed working with the trading company. They were a lot of fun. I enjoyed. I got to book Parker Millsap for a few shows, and that was a lot of fun. He was really easygoing.
Did you book his Conan appearance?
No, I would have made a lot more money.
Yeah, no. What was odd was I remember we were talking about him one time, and you mentioned that he played a house show for you.
Yeah.
And then like a week later, he was on Conan. So I was like, God damn, John Bomboy's good.
Yeah, that was like way back in the day. He played a couple of, I think like 3 or 4 shows I booked. But it was a lot of fun and everything. And Gabriel Knight, or Gabriel Hancock, I got to work with him. He's really good, amazing lyricist. Of course, Isaac McClung, I've been fortunate to work with him as well. And obviously Justin Logan, he's a real close friend of mine. I've always enjoyed working with him. I actually booked his first solo show way back in the day when I first met him.
He used to be a part of the Hudson River or
Hudson Outfit.
Yeah.
Before that, he was in this band called Running from Tomorrow. That was like his first like group band that he started after college, I think. And they were really good.
Okay.
But
aren't you always running from tomorrow though?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I'm more than anything, I'm running from the things I did yesterday.
Right. Well, that's okay. Yeah. No, and you mentioned Isaac, and definitely shout out to him. And I think and also shout out to Eric Weisner, because he was the one that suggested Isaac to the both of us, and kind of bringing him out and stuff. And that's kind of when people got to bear witness to the magic that is Isaac McClung, because he guys, he's fantastic. I think he has a record on, well, maybe not a record, but he has an EP on Spotify, Apple Music. It's Fresh Flowers.
Yeah. He's got on all them streaming services.
and his I think Bloody Money. Is amazing. And,
that's a killer song.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just thought it was so cool that he kind of had that sympathy, and he kind of understood the plight of like Native Americans and natives in Oklahoma enough that he wrote that song. And that was just really, and the way he put everything together was just so beautiful.
Yeah.
Our lyrics, it's very soulful.
Yeah, he really puts himself into his work and everything, and it shines through.
No, so yeah, he is like number one. So Isaac, if you ever blow up, then remember us.
Remember this podcast.
Yeah, remember this podcast. Remember who helped you out back in the day. But I kind of transitioning from that, you had been in the Underscores for a little bit, for a few years, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think 3 years.
Okay.
We kept that going.
And then of course you did your solo stuff, and then you were doing the Thursday night jazz and blues.
Yeah, I did that for 3 or 4 years, almost 4 years.
Okay.
Right.
So, that's about 7, 8 years of doing like live music and stuff?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was doing the jazz and blues simultaneously with the underscores
Okay.
and everything. So I was staying pretty busy at that time.
So it's more like 4 to 5 years, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Can you kind of talk about some of your more favorite venues to play?
51st Street Speakeasy is probably my absolute favorite, especially when me and the underscores were playing shows just because it fit our look and everything. Because I mean, the name first of all, 51st Street Speakeasy, like it looks like an old speakeasy and everything. And then us in our white dress shirts and the black slacks and the like wedding shoes and everything, and always dressing to the nines. Like it fit our look really well. So I always really enjoyed playing there. That was probably my favorite place
Right.
I ever played.
Yeah, I had seen. I think Rachel Lynch and the Day Drinkers there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and then I seen who else? I think Cat Lock and her band there. Um, there's been a few others. I'm just kind of can't.
Drew Swain has
Yeah,
played.
absolutely.
Chase Kurt, like pretty much anybody in like the prominent artists in Oklahoma. That's kind of like a rite of passage, I think,
Right,
playing
yeah,
there.
absolutely. No, and speaking of Drew Swing, he did a house show for you.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, at Will's house.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it was him, and then it was what, double A, or was it
Double double. I think.
double double? Okay, double double, and then there was Bass Lord Mother Mother, and then Drew Swain in the Little Suburbia.
Yeah, Il Suburbia.
Little Suburbia, yeah.
Yeah, it was with Austin Slade. Or
That's what it was. Okay.
I think it's Austin Slade Jones. I'm forgetting his last name now.
We kind of, and that was another thing that you kind of brought into it. Was the nursery shows.
Yeah, yeah, for a short stint.
Can you kind of explain what the nursery shows were?
Well, back when I first, I think it was my sophomore year of college, me and my best friend Roy got a house together, and we were trying to think of this was back when you could first check in to places on Facebook. So we were like, oh, we got to come up with a name for our house, and we were watching Across the Universe, and it got to that scene where Max is running from the jocks because he broke a window in a frat house, and Jude protects him, like helps him hide from him. And they're talking, and Max is like, "Oh, let me return the favor. I'll show you a little Ivy League hospitality." And he walks him up to his frat house, and he says, "Welcome to the nursery. We've got everything you need." And so we were like, "Man, we've got musical instruments, we've got video games and stuff, we've got like a hammock and a trampoline in the backyard, and we have cookouts all the time, and we even have our own bar and everything." So we were like, "We've got everything people our age would need. Let's call it the nursery." So once that started, we started having group like get-togethers where everybody would just have this big open jam session, and we'd probably end up with like 15, 20 musicians. But anyways, long story short, or long story long, I was basically wanting to like kind of recapture a bit of that moment and bring it to what Ada is now and everything. So I started doing house shows and everything to get the community more involved and everything with like local music and everything. But between and I was doing that at the same time that I was still kind of playing with the underscores, doing the house shows at Vintage, and working full time. So it just got to be too much, unfortunately. But
Yeah, because now you're kind of in this spot in your life that you're transitioning out of playing music and out of booking into pedals and chill. Right?
yeah, yep.
Can you kind of speak about that?
Absolutely, that's my baby right now. So basically, I've always been really fascinated with like guitar tones and sounds and everything like that. And so after I kind of quit playing shows, I still wanted that music outlet. So I just started getting more into like the effects and the sounds and things like that, and building on that. And I started doing reviews of pedals and just posting them online and on my Instagram, Pedals and Chill. And it just kind of started to pick up and catch wind. And I think like I started it probably about maybe 6 months ago, and I only had like maybe 600, 700 followers. And I'm up to like almost 3,000 now. I think I'm like 20 away from 3,000. So
Still though, that's pretty impressive for 600.
yeah, it's pretty steady, really steady growth actually. compared to most other accounts I've seen and everything. I've been lucky enough to do. I already did a giveaway or a few pedal giveaways and stuff. I did an Oklahoma pedal board giveaway where I got with Walrus Audio, Old Blood Noise, Emerson Electronics, Shaper Tones, Pinstripe Pedals, Slow Gear Electronics, just all of these Oklahoma music companies, which there's actually quite a few. And I got to do a pedal board giveaway, and I think I ended up giving away 11 pedals, pedal board, and then some patch cables and stuff with it. And I think the value of it was around 1,200 or so. Yeah, so it was a pretty cool deal.
Pretty penny, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that was the first like all Oklahoma pedal board that so far. Like I haven't ever seen them all get together for a giveaway like that. So
you're breaking ground there, huh?
Trying.
So what is it? What goes into like buying a good pedal? Like, is it just like, because I'll admit I know very little about pedals, but can you kind of educate me, please, sir?
I mean, that's a tough question. It really comes down to the kind of sound you want.
Maybe for you, I guess, like a personal.
Well, I go towards like glitchy and weird ones here. Like I have here this Empress Effects Zoya, and what you can actually do with it is you can actually program any effect, any sound that you want in that using these things and littler programs called modules, and you chain them together to create an array of different sounds and effects and everything. And then like this other one I have over here, I actually just got, it's a Montreal Assembly 8564 Zeller Assassin, and it's like a micro looper, or it's a looper sampler sequencer type thing. And then I've got the Chase Bliss Mood. So I go for like the really odd kind of out there glitchy stuff. I've got several others over there, like the Montreal Assembly Purple and the Pretty Years, or the Small Sound Big Sound Pretty Years, which is one I'm really happy to get my hands on because the guy only made 150 of them. So I was really happy to get my hands on that. And I got a Chase Bliss and Cooper FX Generation Loss, which was another limited one. But yeah, I could talk about that stuff all day. I'll go and go.
Please do. We got the time. So.
But actually, there is this other one that I just picked up from this company that just started up, called Neon Egg. They're out of the UK, and it's called the Planetarium. And it's this weird one that kind of looks like a console and everything, but it has reverb and delay in it, and it has different types of reverb and delay that you can switch between. And it also has a compressor, but you can set the compressor to be the internal source or an external source. So if you set it for an external source, what you can do is run a drum machine into it, and it'll pulsate like a synth. So you'll get this like whoop, whoop, whoop type sound, and it's really wild. Sounds freaking cool. But yeah, that one I'm really happy messing around with it.
Now, and when you got something like that, is that something? Because you spoke about the looper, and I know that Jarvix.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he uses a
Loop Master right there.
Yeah, so kind of booking him and then seeing him play at the what was that place? The Opolis in Norman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I went up there and he and his girlfriend Electra. Shout outs to both of them.
Oh, they're fantastic people.
Oh, they are great. But they're two of the nicest people you'll ever meet.
Oh gosh, so yeah.
They're so amazing. I tell people all the time, like, I think Electra is like the queen of the Oklahoma scene. I feel like like the what is it, the Empress ruling over everybody.
I haven't had the chance to talk with her too much, but
she is amazing.
I mean, if she's anything like Jarvix, then they're just great people. Like the little bit of interaction that I have had with her, she just seems like a really positive spirit and force in the world.
Yeah. She's amazing. She actually does this. So she invited me to a show called what was it? Bang Bang Queer Variety Show. And I'm trying to think of, that was at the High Low Club in Oklahoma City.
I was thinking, I thought I had heard that.
It's a drag show, but it's so all the performers, they're doing like songs, they're doing lip syncing, they're doing dances, and it's definitely it's definitely a big transition from like just a regular show or anything that would happen in Ada.
Yeah.
And it's so, but it's super cool, and it's definitely something different. So she's got that going on, and then she does the booking, and then she also plays solo work, and then she does the punk band that she's in.
Where is she booking right now? It's at, I want to say it's not the Root, is it?
No. The route shut down. I know
Ah,
that.
that's right.
Yeah, I know that she's booking a few. She does the High Low Club there in Oklahoma City. I believe she does the Deli. And forgive me if I'm missing some, but
She's busy.
yeah, busy.
That's where we're
Yeah,
figuring
yeah,
out. She's like
busy, but yeah,
she's very involved.
oh, absolutely. So, and she has been for quite some time because anyone that I talked to from Oklahoma City, they always hear about her. And on top of all that, she is an amazing audio engineer, probably one of the best in Oklahoma, I feel like. And yeah, so no, she is fantastic. I feel like I'm her manager. I'm just like
we're just hyping her up.
Hyping her up. We could just do a whole podcast about Electra appreciation or something. Yeah. But no. So, but yeah, Jarvix does the looper and stuff like that, and some of the stuff he does is just amazing because he's like rapping, and then he's playing guitar and he's making kind of beatbox sounds, and he did the rock for Bernie, excuse me, Bunny. Who's Bunny? Doing the rock for Bernie, and he was like rapping and beatboxing. I just thought that was so amazing because in my limited knowledge of pedals, I just thought they did cool tones and things like that and distortion.
Yeah, I'm actually talking with him about helping me demo this one pedal that Chase Bliss is going to be coming out with soon called the Blooper, which there's probably of all the hype about like pedal releases and stuff, there's probably more hype around this pedal than any other pedal that has ever been. But I was talking about him on helping me with that because since he's such a loop master and everything, so I thought it'd be really cool. But yeah, I'm looking forward to working with him on that and getting it going.
Absolutely, and guys, definitely check out both of them. Check out the Pedals and Chill. What is it? You have an Instagram.
Yeah.
And you have the Facebook page.
Yep.
Are you guys on Twitter or anything like that? Or?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter. I don't really use the Facebook or the Twitter that much. I mainly focus on my Instagram. Like
Right.
I probably neglect my YouTube more than I should too. But I don't know. I've got a flow. Like I like the flow of Instagram and everything. I like the community of it, especially in the Guitar Gear community. It's a lot more interactive, so I put a lot of my focus just on that.
Right. Well, and this kind of touch on what you said is, I think with how people consume information, especially nowadays,
Yeah.
it's so limited because you're scrolling through Facebook, and let's just be honest, a lot of people don't have the time or the effort, or maybe they just don't care enough to read everything. They don't.
Oh yeah, totally. Facebook is a dying thing, I feel like, for the most part, as far as information, like gathering information or a source of information.
Being like a social network. But I feel like Instagram takes place in that. Like, everything's quick. So you scroll through something, it's a 30-second video. And if you want to watch more, it gives you the option to click on it, continue watching the video.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you can just scroll through people's pictures. You can give, double tap, give them a like. But it's just so... It's just so more smoother. There's a lot more transitions.
Yeah.
Centered. It just moves very well, and
it's just quick and to the point,
Right.
It's like, here's a pretty picture, or here's a cool sound of something I'm working on.
Yeah, here's your friend's selfie, or
yeah.
But can you kind of talk about how important like social networking is to not only Pedals and Chill, but to like booking or being a musician?
I would say in this day and age, it's absolutely integral. Like it's something you have to pretty much. It's a necessity. You have to do it, especially if you want to get any kind of notice. Especially Instagram, because I feel like Facebook is really falling back in that sense of engagement or whatever. Most engagement that I'm seeing on the rise is through Instagram these days. Like it's rising up and becoming more popular, and it's what's used more. So yeah, I feel like like I said, it's just an absolute necessity, being able to engage with your audience and everything, and looking at like the statistics and the analytics of your audience and everything plays a huge part in helping you understand how you can better reach your community and the people around you, or figure out what your target market is and everything. It's like, I know for a fact one reason why I am able to get so much engagement on Pedals and Chill, and why I've been able to grow my followers as quickly as I have is because I use hashtags. Like, I got on my iPad and I use like hashtag InstaGuitar, and when I type that out, I have it set to autocorrect to the top hashtags that are used.
Wow.
So all I have to do is just type that hashtag InstaGuitar, auto corrects, and then I have 7 other hashtags that I can use to directly relate my post to whatever content it is that I'm putting up. And by doing that, by using those hashtags, you're able to reach a larger community and gain more attention and everything. So I think the use of hashtags is something that's really overlooked. And a lot of people end up deleting them for some reason, which I don't quite understand, because you're losing audience when you do things like that, and you want to keep retaining the audience as long as you can,
Right, and you have people that are plugged into those hashtags, or you have people that, like, for instance, of live music, they're looking through their posts, and if they have their, I think it's like notifications or whatever set to their live music or preferences, then your flyer or your flyer is more than likely to pop up.
Yeah.
And then they can see like, oh well, John Bomboy and the underscores are playing vintage, or so and so is playing the lot, or whatever it is, and it gets them more engagement.
Yeah, exactly.
Because and just kind of having experience booking and promoting and doing things like that. It's and I know we had spoke about this earlier off the air, but it's trying to get people to care, trying to get people interested in booking, trying to get them engaged, and definitely using hashtags seems like it's a lot more engaging, kind of catches their eye.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And like I said, I think it's something, part that's really overlooked a lot of times. And it's just little things like that can add and make a big difference. I mean, it might not help for a show that's coming up, but for an artist or for like future shows or something, people will see those posts probably after the show's already happened or whatever. But as if they see that post, you might be able to grab their attention, and they go to your profile and they look at it. They see your profile, that you're active and you're playing and everything. Maybe they watch a video and they're like, oh, this is pretty good. Like, I like this sound. And then they go ahead and follow you, and then they'll be, updated for future posts or future shows that you might have.
Right. Yeah. And they're definitely plugged into what you have in the future. And then they're more likely to kind of, it's almost like you're giving them that sample. Kind of like that. I don't know if they're doing that at Walmart still, but
that's exactly what I was thinking.
You're giving that little bit of sample in those little cups, and then and they kind of get that taste, and then it's like, okay, well, I definitely want chicken fingers now, or I'm going to buy your ice cream, or whatever it is, which is smart, and I think that, definitely, and I think that more artists need to follow that model, in that, like, social networking is the way to go.
Yeah.
Towards the future. And, and that's not to say, like, you can't hang up flyers and stuff, because certainly people will go into the liquor store, they'll go into places and they'll see your flyer.
Oh yeah.
And then they'll pay attention, but you need both.
Yeah.
Because more people are online, more people scroll through their Instagram or their Facebook or even Snapchat, or and I'm gonna sound old and dated, but I guess Kaleidoscope or whatever their new ones are, or
TikTok
maybe.
I think TikTok's actually gaining a lot of actually they're the owner of TikTok is, I heard this on NPR, and this is going to diverge a little bit from the topic, but
please diverge.
The owner of TikTok is actually, he's from China, and he's having to go to a congressional hearing or something, because something about American data being at risk because, the Chinese are in charge of it or something like that. I don't know. They're freaking out about it. But anyways, I just heard that on NPR today.
Okay.
So,
well, I mean,
little thing. I didn't know that.
That's some
But
pretty interesting stuff, though. Like this kind of.
but yeah, it's like they were talking about how it's the first Chinese social media app to actually gain global, uh, I guess a global following in a sense or something. I don't know. But I haven't messed with TikTok or anything. My wife really likes it. She's always watching the little videos and stuff.
Is that where people like lip sync and do things like that, or is
Yeah,
that
it's basically the new Vine.
okay? Yeah.
Because Vine went away, and there's that, they kind of left that vacuum for that form of social media. And then Musically is what it was called, took it over. And then Musically changed their name to TikTok.
Okay.
And now, so now it's TikTok.
So now you can do all your the videos are what 10 seconds, something like that, or
Yeah, they're real short. I think.
so you can just do all your comedy bits or get all your stuff in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I haven't looked into it as far as the market for music and art. I know it's mostly for a comedic outlet for comedians and stuff. Might be an outlet for musicians.
That'd be kind of hard though, right? You just kind of.
I mean, you just play a 10-second piece of your song or something. 6 or 10 seconds is all you got. But I don't know. I'm a believer. I'm probably not going to utilize it just because I'm not trying to really go anywhere. I'm just having fun and sharing my passion and my hobby. And I found my niche through Instagram, so I'll probably stick with that. But if I was a working artist or a musician, I would still encourage them to go through TikTok, because any outlet or avenue that you can use, if you're posting a video to Instagram, you might as well post it up on TikTok too, and you use whatever outlet that you can get a hold of or that's at your disposal. It's just it's a market that you're missing out on.
Right, and it's a series of tools.
Yeah,
that you
exactly.
Utilize. Yeah, so it's just getting more people pay attention to your product, whether it's pedals and chill or it's music or
Yeah.
your comedy or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of switching gears here. What are you watching these days? You watching TV shows?
The Watchmen.
Watching. Okay.
Yeah.
That's filmed in Tulsa.
Yeah. Me and the wife have really been watching that one. I'm really liking it. I'm iffy on how they're portraying Dr. Manhattan. Okay. Just because I don't know how to feel about the actor yet, but he was just revealed in the last episode. So.
Right. What are some of your theories on it?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I mean, they've pretty much laid out the plot, and I'm not going to spoil it for anybody.
Right.
But they've pretty much laid out the game plan, and I have an idea as to what's going to happen, but I don't know. We'll see where it goes.
Okay.
I'm curious. I think they only have one more episode left. So.
And is it like a limited series, or is it of this season?
It's just this season. I think they're going to keep it going after this.
Well, I mean, yeah, if people are watching it, and
yeah,
why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Did you ever watch the Watcher movie?
I did.
Did you like it?
I did. I really liked it. I know it was kind of like the comic fans weren't a huge fan of it because it didn't have the giant squid monster in it. And that's one thing I have noticed, actually. The TV show is much more closely, it's based off of the comic, what happened in the comic. The movie is its own like adaptation of it or whatever. Yeah. So it's like the show is happening outside of the universe of the movie. But personally, I liked. Oh, I'm going to catch some fire for this probably, but I liked the plot of the movie more than the comic.
Okay.
I mean,
that's fair.
The depth of the comic was better, but as far as like the incident that happened, because in the comics it's a giant Ozymandias he gets a giant squid from another dimension basically, and it destroys or kills 3 million people or something like that, and he somehow gets world peace that way. But in the movie, Ozymandias causes a bomb to blow up, and it has the same basic chemistry signature or something of Dr. Manhattan. So he turns the whole world against Dr. Manhattan rather than against each other, and everything.
Yeah,
so
so they're kind of united in that fight.
yeah.
It's a documentary.
So for me, it makes more sense and seems more plausible to put the blame on Dr. Manhattan rather than a giant squid creature. Like, so that's just where my...
Well, I mean, like, the people weren't mad that they had to be subjugated to his dong flopping around everywhere.
No, I don't.
They weren't that upset.
I mean, the girl I was dating at the time was okay with it. I felt like I had to apologize to her a few times because I couldn't quite measure up. But,
oh wow, okay. So
I mean, let's just be honest. That is a big blue penis.
It's kind of turned into a different kind of podcast.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's all right. Well, I mean, you can say what you want, but well, no, yeah, that definitely was that was interesting. It's I almost feel like I'm in middle school. I'm just kind of tee-hee-heeing about it. Yeah, but it's yeah, that no, and definitely like reading the graphic novel, and I was a fan of the movie as well. I thought all of it was fantastic. I haven't watched the Watchmen series. I hear a lot of good about it.
I highly encourage it. It's good.
Okay.
It's really good. I was on the fence, but yeah, it's actually turned into a favorite for me and my wife. Like,
oh, okay. Is it what Rorschach's not in it because he died in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But there's like a Rorschach type of gang, right?
Yeah, it's really interesting. It's
Okay.
yeah, it's just a strange thing. Like, because I guess they turn out to be a white supremacist group.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, and I'm wondering, like, I had to read up online how it happened, but they start out as like how Rorschach became a symbol for white supremacy or whatever. But I guess he sent his journal to a very far right wing newspaper or news show or something, and then naturally it just through the game of telephone or whatever, it just got twisted and morphed, and his journal like got twisted and morphed into supporting their ideology and everything. So it's interesting, strange take on the human condition, I guess.
Right. Those damn Nazis always ruining everything.
God, I know.
Those assholes. No, but
punch a Nazi, punch a Nazi, everyone.
Right. No, and one interesting thing about the Watchmen, since we're talking about it, is what AOC actually used that Rorschach line. I think it was her first day at the. I'm going to sound like an idiot. First day of Congress or at the Senate, where she said, you don't understand. I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me."
Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Gosh, she just gets more and more badass.
He actually, yeah. For those of you that are unfamiliar, he uses that line when he goes to, well, spoiler alert, he goes to prison, and then of course everyone that he's imprisoned is in there, and they're waiting to kill him. And then then he actually in the movie pours grease all over a dude.
Yeah,
which was pretty gnarly. That was kind of.
He's a badass, man.
Yeah, I was very impressed. The what the forearm strength of that man.
Yeah,
keep that up and just dump it on the dude, and
he's a freaking badass, dude.
That was pretty cool. No, but yeah. So why, if we can kind of talk about it, like why not booking or anything anymore? Why have you kind of taken a step back? Honestly,
I did it for so long. I mean, I started doing booking and stuff when I was really in high school. I would set up house shows for me and my band because I grew up out in Little Axe, and we were underage, so we couldn't play a lot of the places in Norman and stuff. So I'd set up shows at my friend's house out in Little Axe, which is a little country town on the outskirts of Norman. And then I came here to Ada to go to school at ECU, and I was leading worship for the UCM. I was playing, which is the United Campus Ministries. Mm-hmm. I was playing bass for the Baptist Student Union. I was playing drums for First Baptist, and I'd fill in on keyboard occasionally at Trinity Baptist Church. So I just started working with all these other musicians and everything, and I went to the college minister at the UCM, and I told him, hey, first I set up a house show for one of my friends. I got kicked out of my house, and she let me stay with her until I was able to get back on my feet. So as a thank you, when I finally got a place, I threw her this house party called the Bee's Knees Bash, which was the first solo show that I booked Justin for. And I think I had like 10 or 11 of my friends play at that thing. And we got like just a shit ton of soda and everything. And we didn't have an ice chest big enough, so we threw it in the tub and just threw ice on top of that and everything. But we had a huge crowd show up to that. I think we had like 75 people to 80 at least in this little tiny one bedroom duplex. And I mean, it was packed from the back door all the way out to the front porch. Like it was, it was just crazy packed. And my college minister came to that, and him and I started talking about me doing some more shows with the UCM and everything and doing it there. So they kind of gave me an outlet, and I just started booking there. And then after working with all these artists and everything, I started just booking around Oklahoma, and I helped set up a tour for a few friends. And then I moved to Norman, did a little more booking there. I was working for a music management company out of Dallas, Texas, and then they fell under, like they went broke. So then I moved back to Ada and I started booking for Vintage. But anyways, I just did it for so freaking long, like from about 2009 all the way to, I guess I just recently quit this year, like officially stopped everything.
Yeah.
It just got to be too much. Like I have a full-time job. I was enjoying Pedals and Chill more, and I wanted to focus on it more.
And you recently got married within the last year?
Yeah, got married and everything else, and so I was just like, I'm tired. I'm worn out.
I got you. You got to kind of wind down.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and that was kind of actually one of your house shows was one of the first time I actually met you was at the church.
Yeah, that was a fun place. The first show we did there was a New Year's Eve show with some friends and everything. And I don't remember playing, but I'm told I had a great time. I'm told I just had a blast. I remember getting really drunk. Haniwa was playing, and I got really drunk and popped up behind them with the floor tom, and I was playing the floor tom while they were playing and everything, and it ended up being a lot of fun. They still tell me to this day that was one of the most favorite shows they ever played.
Oh, nice.
And everything, so it made me feel good.
Yeah, no, I think that might be the one of the only times that someone actually did something nice while they were drinking. Like got drunk. I mean, I don't know. My experience was different because I used to just get wasted, and then we had a pretty fun time at the Vintage one time.
Oh yeah, well that was when Bullseye.
Yeah. Well, I don't remember it, but I was told it was a good time.
you're like me. I was told I had a great time.
Yeah. But I just got like. Well, I remember their first set, and then I don't remember anything after that. And then
I think that might have been my fault because I know I was buying myself a lot of drinks. I was buying you a few drinks, and I was buying them some drinks. I don't know if they were as well. Was that the night we all went to the donut shop after?
I think you guys went to the donut shop.
That's right. Yeah.
Because I fortunately lived like a block away. And then I didn't even, drive, which you shouldn't. Drive, but I somehow stumbled to my house, and then I just opened my front door, and then my roommate at the time, she was just kind of staring at me, and her and her boyfriend were hanging out on the couch, and then I went and I was passed out on the love seat, kind of ruined their date, and then I just passed out, and I woke up, and then I just went in my room and puked, and actually puked in my room, pretty gross.
Oh man.
Yeah, so that was one of the only times where I got really just wasted, and I was somewhat of an asshole.
That was a fun night.
Yeah, so,
I don't think you're ever an asshole. I don't know if you're capable of it.
Well, I appreciate that. No, and but no, I just remember having a good time. I remember waking up thinking hey, that wasn't too bad.
Yeah,
and, but it was in my experience, no one ever was hey, I appreciate you doing my taxes when you were blackout drunk, or thanks for helping me move that couch. Yeah. So, but no, just kind of dialing back because was at the church because some really good friends of mine, Oberon, they were playing that night.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then so was Our Mother's Martyr, right?
Mm-hmm. And Brea.
Brea, yeah. So
it was a good lineup.
It was stellar lineup.
Oh, Oberon fucking killed it. Like
Dude,
they had the full like spacesuits and everything,
Yeah.
and man, they just went. They put on one hell of a show.
Oh, they always do, and they are amazing. Like,
oh yeah.
And but no, and I think you came up to me and you said, "Hey, somebody said you were trustworthy. Do you want to run the door?" And I was like, "Obviously, this guy doesn't know me, so no." But yeah, got to run the door for you guys, and it was a good experience. I actually got snubbed by somebody. I asked her for some money, and she was like, "Who are you?" And just like kept walking, and then her friend paid for her. And I was like, okay.
Well, at least we got the money. I do remember some people showing up.
Yeah.
And I told them, I guess it was before you got there, and they were like, "Do we have to pay to get in?" And I was like, "Yep." Like, I had no problems. I was like, "Yep."
Yeah.
Well, I think we had to advertise it as a highly suggested donation. Is what we had to do.
You should really do this.
Yeah, yeah. Like, you don't have to pay or anything. You don't have to donate, but if you don't donate, then you can't come in.
Yeah.
It's like a club.
Yeah, I mean, you really should. But no, yeah, and then no, that was definitely a killer night, and I'm trying to think, and then everyone had like an impromptu wrestling match after that.
Yeah.
So,
I'm surprised nobody like tore some muscles or ligaments or so, because they were going hard.
Well, all that started, you can blame Logan Wood for that.
Yeah.
He was over there pastoring DJ, and then
classic Logan.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Logan. No. They got into kind of a little bit of wrestling match, and then everybody was like, "Well, we're doing this."
It's free for all.
Yeah, so you just had a battle royale in I guess it was your living room.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it was a sanctuary.
Yeah.
Because it was literally an old church, like an old little church that got turned into a rent house, and our living room was this sanctuary, and the whole house was like 3,000 square feet or something like that. Like, it was a big house, and I mean, the living room was massive, and it had the arched ceilings and everything, just like a church does, and it even had the little spot where the pew or the pulpit, where the pulpit was and everything and all of that. So, I mean, it was fucking perfect set up for something like that. But yeah, that was our living room.
Well, it made for some good shows, definitely.
Yeah.
It
was a blast.
Oh, absolutely. And, but yeah, so, do you have anything for us on these pedals?
I don't have, well, yeah, I can do a little piddling here real quick.
All right.
Let me
just tell me to stop talking and
No, you're good to talk for a little while. If you want to ask me questions about what the hell are you doing?
Okay. Hey, what the hell are you doing there, bud?
Well, right now I am looking for a sequencer that I set up that auto plays music so that I can feed it into this let me double check this, make sure that's all going. Yeah, so I can feed it into this looper here, which then I can take and splice up and sample and do all sorts of crazy weird stuff with. It's mostly about finding the right one that I need, which is the...
It's almost like there's like a science to it. You're just kind of...
There kind of is. It's a weird thing. And this is just kind of like what I've been getting into lately, is just like these weird sounds and everything. I think I'm needing... It's literally a patch called Beep Boop. So let me make sure I'm in the right spots here. Okay. Oh. This might take a second.
Okay.
We're not getting sound out of this for some reason.
Uh-oh.
I know.
Gonna have to cut this part of the show.
I know. We'll edit this part out. Let's see if I can figure out what is going on here. See, that's going into my in. Okay.
So he's messing with the pedals, everybody. He's trying to get it figured out. I felt like this
Oh.
was a...
You know
maybe. Oh, that did something.
It's my cable.
Oh, no.
Let me change out this cable
All
real
right.
quick.
I'll keep talking. But, yeah. Once again, everybody, thanks for coming out while John's kind of plugging stuff in and doing this whole business. Definitely check out Pedals and Chill on Pedals and Chill, excuse me, on Instagram, and definitely check out me, Jesse White Deer. It's J White Deer, all one word, on Instagram. Check out White Deer Entertainment. We got some shows upcoming for you in the next few months. Some shows at Vintage, The Lot, and then we got some shows in Blue Note. So definitely check all that out. And yeah, once we get this up for you, it's gonna blow your
Hopefully.
mind. Hopefully. Maybe.
Let me try this.
Okay.
This might take a second longer than I thought. I don't know why
man.
it's doing this to me.
Didn't mean to put you on the spot.
No, it's all good. Okay, well that part's working.
That part is working.
Okay. So
Now that I got you on the spot, what was your favorite cartoon show growing up?
you know I actually didn't watch.
What?
I know.
Okay.
Maybe The Simpsons?
Favorite movie maybe growing up?
Favorite movie growing up? I don't know.
Oh man.
I really didn't listen to
Did you even have a childhood, John Bomboy?
not much of one. It was pretty piss poor.
I just imagine you were in a room for 22 years, and you just came out, and here you are.
Basically. I think it's this cable
okay.
here. That's
We're hearing something.
alrighty. All right.
You believe in Bigfoot?
I don't.
Ah.
I can't say I do.
Okay. Aliens, anything like that?
I believe in the possibility.
Oh,
I
all
do
right,
believe
there we
in.
go.
I want to believe.
Well, yeah. That's always exciting.
Well, I don't know if I can get this to work.
Oh no.
I know. For some reason, I cannot get this past here. But, oh, you know what? My dumbass didn't even have this part plugged in.
Oh, well, that might help then. I see some buttons lining up,
Yeah, they're trying.
so maybe that's the key.
Well,
I see there's a beautiful painting behind you with these guitar, and there's a pipe and everything. That was painted by Karina, right?
that was actually, yeah.
Oh, shout out to Karina Smith. Oh, here we are.
Let's go down to, there we go.
Can you kind of walk us through of how you put this together?
Yeah, so this part that I'm doing here, I've got a basically a sequence playing through on my Zoya, which right now it's an auto-generative patch. So basically, you go in and you can program like notes and whatever. Basically, you can program whatever you want. So I have this going right now, and I'm going to take it and feed it into a Montreal Assembly 856 for Zellersassin. And then we're going to take that and feed it into another looper called Mood. So right now I have no guitar going on, and we're just going to see what we can create with that, basically. And so yeah, I guess here we go. So yeah, that kind of stuff. That's just like a very small snippet, and that was probably a bad example, but
No, that was very, very almost alien-y.
yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool. That was awesome.
Thank you. I've been enjoying it and everything.
Well, I mean, it's definitely seems like it's another outlet, kind of,
Yeah, and I find those kinds of like, I know the random generation of it all, and like you don't know which way it's going to go, how it's going to go, how it's really going to sound. So the randomness and unexpectedness of it, and kind of teaching myself to be okay with it. So I think that's kind of like another reason why I like it, is it's that kind of I don't know, helping teach me that kind of therapy. Like sometimes things don't go the way you want or go the way you'd like them to, but you just have to learn to accept like whatever sound is coming out is the sound you're getting, and you just have to learn to like kind of roll with that and go with it. So taking that, I guess, if you want to get all like existential with it, like taking that and applying it to, facets of your life and everything, is kind of a, I don't know if intrinsic is the correct word I'm thinking of, but something like that.
Yeah, something somebody said.
Big word.
Yeah, right. But no, well, I think that's a great place to end this. But thanks for having me out in your house, though, man. This is awesome.
Not a problem. Thanks for coming out.
Yeah, but once again, you can follow me on Instagram at JYDeer. You can follow White Deer Entertainment on Facebook, and please don't add my personal account. I don't need that in my life, but definitely follow those. White Deer Entertainment on Facebook and on Instagram through JYDeer. We got the New Year's Eve show coming up at the very end of the year at Vintage 22. We got rebranded for you, and then we got the Big Empty kind of opening things up. And John, you got any plans for New Year's or?
Actually, it's my best friend's birthday, so we are dragging him out to Vintage for a little while.
Oh, nice. All right. Well, hey, even more reason to show up because you'll see the mythical John Bomboy there.
A rare public appearance.
Yeah. So you can ask him about Pedals and Chill, and if you bring a pedal, maybe you can autograph it for him. Maybe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Or keep it.
Yeah. Maybe you can trade or something.
Yeah.
Is trading like a big thing in the pedals?
Actually, yeah. I actually just, because I had a second mood. It was a rare blacked out edition that they did for Black Friday, and they only made 100 of them. But there was this guy that had a polydigit out of Australia that I really wanted, so it was a pretty pricey pedal. So I traded him my rare blackout mood for his polydigit.
Awesome.
So I just shipped that off today, actually.
Nice.
So hopefully his polydigit will be here Friday.
Hopefully.
Or I'm screwed.
Yeah, right. Out of luck, as I say.
Yeah.
But you got anything you want to plug?
No. I mean
Pedals and Chill.
Pedals and Chill. Pedals and Chill.
That's on Instagram, right?
Yeah. It's actually everything. My Instagram, my Twitter, my Facebook, all of it is Pedals and Chill. So.
Yep. And how often do you upload videos?
I mean, I'm pretty consistent on Instagram. I'm usually posting at least like 3 videos a week. YouTube takes a little bit of time because I post my full-fledged demos there. So, and I work with like local musicians and venues and things like that to do the demos.
You had Justin Logan in studio. You had DJ Bryant.
Yeah.
What were some of the other ones?
We've got Ryan. I want to say Ryan Dangerfield from the Fabulous Minx. He's going to be helping me out. We've got another guy. I can't remember his name. I think their name is like Kink Pink, I believe, or King Pink or King Kink, something like that.
Okay.
I keep getting him. It's Tyler Hayes.
Oh, okay.
But he's offered to help out, and like I said, Jarvix is going to be helping me with the blooper demo, and so yeah, we've got a good lineup and everything. And
a lot to look forward to.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, man. Thanks again, buddy.
Oh, thanks.